ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all the brilliant souls in between. It's me, Pro Rumen the Amazing. Currently, yes, I'm playing JJK Curse Clash while trying not to completely embarrass myself on camera. We'll see how that goes, shall we? Pauses, slight chuckle. But today, I'm here to talk about something a bit deeper in it. Something not everyone likes to admit, but something many of us feel. It's about feeling like a ghost. Yeah, like you're there, but not really. Like you're walking through life, invisible to most, unheard, untouched, even while surrounded by people. It's that strange emptiness where you question if anyone even notices you exist. But let me tell you, it's all right to feel like that. It doesn't make you broken. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. Sometimes the world moves so fast, the noise gets so loud, that being unseen feels like the only place you can breathe. You're not less for feeling like a ghost. You're not weak for needing space. You're just carrying more inside than most people will ever realize. The truth is, even ghosts have stories, even ghosts are real. And even if you feel unseen, your feelings, your struggles, your dreams, they're still valid. They still matter. It's okay to drift sometimes. It's okay to float through the noise and try to find your place. Life ain't a straight line, mate. It's messy. Some of us need time to find our shape again, and you will. You'll be seen again, heard again, and you'll realize you were never truly invisible. You were just waiting for the right moment to shine. Anyway, before I completely get eliminated in Curse Clash over here, remember this. Being a ghost doesn't mean you're gone. You're still here, and I see you. All right, let's be real for a minute. You see people posting videos every single day, uploads flying out like clockwork, and it starts creeping into your head. Am I not good enough? Am I lazy because I can't keep up? Is my channel doomed because I need time? Listen to me. You're not lazy. You're not failing, and you're definitely not falling behind. Posting daily doesn't define your worth. This isn't a race. This is your journey. Some people can push out content like a machine, but that doesn't mean you have to. You're a human being, not an upload schedule. Sometimes you need time to breathe, to recharge, to think, to create something you actually care about instead of just feeding the algorithm. Creating takes energy, real energy, mental, emotional, creative energy. And forcing yourself to burn out for the sake of posting daily won't serve you in the long run. It's not about how many videos you drop. It's about the heart you put into each one. Quality over quantity, always. Even if you post once a week, once a month, if it's true to you, that's what matters. So don't beat yourself up for not being a machine. You're not lazy, you're building, you're learning, you're protecting your passion, and that's what will keep you going for the long run. Take your time. The people who truly care about your content, they'll wait for you. And when you post, they'll feel your soul in it. That's what makes you a creator. Not the upload count, the heart behind the upload. Camera rolls. You're sitting confidently, playing JJK Curse Clash as Gojo, with a little grin. All right, everyone, little update before we get into it. I'm doing surprisingly well on JJK Cursed Clash today, not getting absolutely clobbered for once. Playing as Gojo, naturally, man's an absolute unit, but while I'm here smashing it on the game, let's talk about something a bit heavier for a moment. And that's this whole thing between men and women, boys and girls, lads and lasses, however you want to say it. See, I've been thinking there's too much fighting between us sometimes, too much blame, too much all men are this or all women are that. We throw stones at each other like we're still in primary school. But here's the truth. We're not enemies. We're not opponents. We're just people, all carrying our own battles. Men have pain they hide. Women have wounds they carry. Both sides bleed. But for some reason, instead of helping each other heal, we keep reopening the cuts. And that's not how we move forward, is it? That's not how we make things better for anyone. We've got to stop hurting each other. Stop blaming every individual for the mistakes of others. Stop thinking pain is a competition. Because at the end of the day, hurt people hurt people. But healed people lift each other up. They build, they understand. And I get it. People have been through real stuff, bad experiences, real heartbreak. But if we keep turning that pain into more anger, into more hatred, All we're doing is feeding the same fire we claim we want to put out. We need more kindness, more respect, more listening instead of shouting, more how can I help instead of who's to blame. Doesn't matter if you're a lad or a lass, at the end of the day, we're all trying to survive this wild thing called life. And trust me, it's a lot easier when we're not swinging at each other every 5 minutes. Pauses, glances at screen with a grin. Anyway, back to Gojo absolutely deleting people on Cursed Clash. I'm on a roll today. Might actually post this one without embarrassing myself for once. Camera rolls. You're sitting casually, maybe holding your controller, giving a little smirk to the camera. All right, lads, let's have a proper chat, yeah? You know, there's this weird thing people still believe that if you're a bloke, a man, you've got to be this unbreakable brick wall. No tears, no emotions, no softness. Just get on with it, mate. But let me tell you something. That's absolute rubbish. Complete and utter nonsense. The kind of thinking that probably thinks tea bags belong in for 2 seconds. Criminal behavior, really. Being a man doesn't mean you have to lock it all up inside. It doesn't mean you can't cry. It doesn't mean you can't sit there staring at your ceiling at 2 a.m. thinking about life and feel it all. You're allowed to hurt. You're allowed to be scared. You're allowed to talk about what's weighing on you without feeling like you've somehow failed as a man. You see, real strength isn't about pretending you've got it together all the time. Real strength is being brave enough to admit when you don't. To say, yeah, mate, I'm struggling right now, but I'm still here. Bottling it up like an unopened can of beans doesn't do you any favors. Eventually, it's gonna explode. And that's a mess no one wants to clean up. So if you're sitting there, feeling like showing emotion makes you weak, remember this: it actually makes you human. And being human is stronger than any fake tough act. You've got nothing to prove by pretending you don't feel. Be kind to yourself. Let yourself feel it. That's not weakness. That's courage. And besides, if anyone gives you stick for it, just remind them that even the Queen's guards blink eventually. Little smirk. Anyway, back to me getting absolutely smashed on JJK Curse Clash now. Shall we? You're sat playing Fighting EX Layer, focused but cool, glancing at the camera between rounds. All right, quick update before we get into it. Today, I'm on Fighting EX Layer. Different game, same vibe, and so far I'm holding my own. Not too shabby, if I say so myself. But while we're here, let's chat about something that needs saying. You know, some people still act like women are weak. Like being a woman automatically means you're fragile, or you can't handle life like the big strong men can. Honestly, mate, that's pure nonsense. Absolute waffle. Women aren't weak. Never have been. It takes real strength to live in a world that's constantly trying to underestimate you. To walk into rooms where people doubt you before you've even opened your mouth. To carry pressure, judgment, and expectations, and still rise every single day. Let's be real. Half the blokes who talk about women being weak wouldn't survive 5 minutes dealing with half the stuff women put up with daily. From society's double standards to people commenting on everything they do, say, or wear, and yet they still crack on with life. That's strength. That's resilience. Strength isn't always about muscle and bravado, mate. Sometimes real strength is quiet. It's in holding your ground when people try to knock you down. It's in standing tall even when you're doubted. It's in being kind when the world's been cruel. And women do that every single day. So let's stop with this outdated weaker sex rubbish. It's embarrassing. And honestly, in 2025, we're better than that, aren't we? Women aren't weak. They're warriors. And the sooner we start respecting that, the better off we'll all be. Pauses, glances at screen, grinning. Now, back to me getting a cheeky combo in on Fighting EX Layer. If I pull this off, I might even treat myself to a cuppa later. All right, mates. Quick update before I get back to smashing it on Power Rangers. Feeling pretty heroic today, not gonna lie. But while I'm here morphing into a ranger, let's have a real talk about us, Gen Z. You know, a lot of people out there like to say we're a curse, that we're doomed, that we're some kind of failure or a joke to the world. But let me tell you this, that's utter rubbish. We're not cursed, we're not doomed, and we're definitely not a joke. Sure, we've got challenges, big ones. We're growing up in a world that's spinning faster than a Power Rangers morphin sequence. Climate change, economic chaos, endless noise on social media. It's a lot. But that doesn't make us failures. It makes us fighters. We're more connected than any generation before us, more aware, more willing to speak up, more determined to make things better, even when it feels like the odds are stacked against us. People might not get it. They might look at our memes, our slang, our ways of living and say, what's the point? But the point is, we're trying. We're figuring it out. We're creating new paths when the old ones don't work anymore. So, don't believe the nonsense that we're some doomed generation. We're not the problem. We're part of the solution. We're the new heroes in a world that desperately needs one. And if anyone tries to tell you otherwise, just remind them Power Rangers saved the day, and so will we. You're playing Power Rangers, but glance up at the camera as you speak. All right, before I dive back into saving the world as a Power Ranger, let's talk about something a bit heavier. A lot of people these days, especially people like us, we look at the government and just shake our heads. And you know why? Because more and more, it feels like they're not for the people anymore. Feels like they're not here to make things better. They're here to hold power, line pockets, and keep the same broken systems ticking. We see the planet getting wrecked, forests burning, oceans rising, animals disappearing, and somehow there's always more talk than action. More empty promises, more meetings, more photo ops, less actual change. We see people struggling, can't afford rent, can't afford food, can't afford to simply live, while the ones at the top seem to get richer by the minute. And it's not that we hate authority for the sake of it. We're not just being rebellious youth like they love to call us. We just want leaders who care more about people than profit, about protecting the planet instead of draining it dry, about healing communities instead of dividing them. But too often, it feels like they only act when the cameras are rolling. Like we're pieces in a game they're playing for themselves, while we're the ones left picking up the mess. That's why so many people don't trust the government anymore. Not because we're paranoid, but because we're watching. And what we're seeing? It's not good enough. We deserve better. The planet deserves better. We all deserve better. And if they won't fix it, well then, like the Power Rangers I'm playing right now, maybe it's up to us to be the ones who fight for what's right. Glances at screen with a smirk. Anyway, back to saving the world in the game. If only real life had a giant Megazord button, eh? All right, I know I'm sat here playing Power Rangers, but sometimes even while gaming, the world outside still weighs heavy on your mind, doesn't it? Lately, I think a lot about nature, about how much we've already lost, and how much more we could lose if we're not careful. We see forests being torn down for money, oceans filled with plastic like it's normal, animals disappearing like their existence didn't even matter, rivers running dry, skies thick with smoke, seasons shifting like they've lost their balance. And the scary part? It's happening right in front of us. And half the world just carries on like it's fine. Like nature will somehow fix itself while we keep pushing it to the edge. But nature isn't infinite. It's not some unbreakable thing that can take hit after hit forever. It's alive, it breathes, and it can fall apart just like anything else. What worries me most is that the longer we wait, the more permanent the damage becomes. The old trees don't grow back overnight, the extinct don't return. The air won't just magically clean itself when we're done. We treat nature like it's separate from us, but it's not. We are part of it. When it suffers, so do we. When it breaks, we lose more than trees or animals. We lose pieces of life itself. That's why this matters. Not just for us right now, but for the ones who'll come after. The kids, the grandkids, the ones who'll inherit whatever we leave behind. We've still got time to change, yeah, but not forever. And the longer we pretend it's someone else's problem, the closer we get to losing the one world we've got. Pauses, glancing back at screen. Anyway, back to saving the world in Power Rangers. If only saving the real world was this simple, eh? All right, still here, still playing Power Rangers, still saving the day on screen. But outside this game, things aren't quite as simple, are they? You know what's been really weighing heavy lately? The state of mental health across the world. It feels like everywhere you look, Someone's struggling. Quietly, silently, and half the time, no one even notices. Depression, anxiety, stress, burnout. It's like this heavy fog that's slowly creeping across the world. Young people, old people, doesn't matter who you are anymore, it finds a way to reach you. We live in a world that's noisier than ever. Social media, news, pressure to succeed, pressure to always be on. Like if you're not constantly grinding, you're falling behind. We've built a world that never lets you breathe, and then we wonder why so many of us feel like we're drowning. And the worst part? For far too long, people just brushed it off. Cheer up, you'll be fine. Everyone's got problems, mate. But it doesn't work like that, does it? You can't fix a broken arm by telling someone to walk it off. And you can't fix a broken mind by pretending it's not there. The truth is, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to struggle, and it's okay to ask for help. Mental health isn't weakness, it's part of being human. We've all got battles happening behind closed doors. Some just shout louder than others. What we need now, more than ever, is compassion, real listening, less judgment, more support, because none of us are as alone as we think. And the more we talk about it, the more we break the silence. And that silence is what feeds the pain. Pauses, glancing at the screen. Anyway, back to Power Rangers. Saving the world here is easy. Wish it was that simple out there, too. But maybe, little by little, we can make it better. One honest conversation at a time.